Five, four, three, two, one.
TrojanVision's The Week That Was, covering the news and events for the week ending Friday, February 24th. I'm Paige Ray. Thank you so much for joining us. We begin with campus security. In the midst of the Michigan State campus shooting, Troy University's police department says it's taking necessary measures to keep faculty, staff, and students safe. Camille Coney explains.
Troy University Chief of Police Chief Boldrick thinks that safety is of the utmost importance on campus, especially in the light of recent mass shootings in the United States.
All of our officers have gone through training. We call it single officer response for active shooter training.
So what are some signs of an active shooter that you should be on the lookout for?
Heavy clothing in warm weather. People who change behavior from someone you've known, for a while, and then all of a sudden there's a change in behavior, there's a change in demeanor, there may be a change in hygiene. Anybody who makes statements to the effect of, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do something, anything that even remotely alarms you, make the report.
In the elevators around campus, students and staff may have noticed a sign posted up that states how to react if there is an active shooter present.
It's a simple 3-word, run, hide, fight. In an instance of, high adrenaline, high intensity, high threat, high fear, everyone has a hard time with, thinking about what do I do, what do I do, what do I do. That's why we teach in the simplest terms, run, hide, fight.
The information given to law enforcement is important because it can help catch the shooter.
If you see law enforcement, the first thing you should do is keep your hands visible, and you should, if possible, you should give a description if you have one. Race, sex, build, type of clothing, where they were last seen. Again, we're talking about a high intensity situation, a lot of adrenaline, a lot of fear, a lot of panic. Think of the easy things.
Camille Coney, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Staying with our top stories, this weekend marked the opening for the Trojan baseball team, but the home of the Trojans is still under a major renovation. Regardless of active construction, Troy Athletics still says play ball at Riddle Pace.
Troy University's Riddle Pace Field will look a little different to Trojan baseball fans. For the past 9 months, Riddle Pace has been getting renovated, and now with the baseball season starting, fans will be able to enjoy the new facility.
We're very excited to be able to announce that we'll be able to play ball this year inside Riddle Pace. There are going to be a few different accommodations that need to be made, but from concessions to concourse to PA to music to promotions, all the seats are in place already. It's going to have that the fan amenities will be in place this year.
The director of athletics at Troy University, Brent Jones, says that the new facility is an amazing opportunity for the fans, but for the players and coaches as well.
Facilities matter, people matter, recruits, players matter, but buildings matter and what it looks like. And so to be able to have the best stadium, it's going to have the best stadium in the Sun Belt Conference, one of the best baseball stadiums in all of college baseball. It's only going to enhance already amazing tradition and history that we have at Troy baseball.
Jones says the Trojan game day experience will still be the same. However, there is one aspect of game day that will be a little different. There's a new entrance that fans will go through to get into their seats.
Fans will enter through Gate 1, which is down the first base side of the stadium. So it will be one entrance point, one exit point. They'll go in, they'll go up through our stairwell and go into there. Now, every single seat is chair-backed, over 2,000 chair-back seats.
The facility is not fully finished. The rotunda, the RBI club, coach's office, and press box will be added on throughout the season.
Thanks, Mackenzie. And are you planning on visiting Riddle Pace for a game? The full rundown of game day changes are available right now at TroyTrojans.com. As the need for Scantrons rises for midterms, some Troy students and professors are concerned about a shortage of blue Scantrons at the campus bookstore. As Kelley explains, even campus organizations are trying to find a solution.
With midterms coming up, the Student Government Association hands out free Scantrons for the student body. However, the blue Scantrons that many students sought after were missing.
I do not know where they have gone. We did want to at least hand out some green Scantrons and blue books,
Normally you can find the blue Scantrons in the campus bookstore, but they were not there or anywhere. The bookstore manager, Jeffrey Langenkamp, received news from Scantron a few weeks ago that blue Scantrons he ordered would not be in.
So I placed an order a couple of months ago for them, right? Back in January, I placed the order. And the issue was Scantron was going through a little bit of changes on their end, which stopped them from being able to fulfill orders.
The lack of blue Scantrons has been a concern among students and faculty alike.
We want to make sure that students have the materials they need in a timely, efficient manner. And so we haven't been able to do that with the Scantrons. A lot of the instructors, professors have come in and asked us about it. It's been a big problem and it has caused some issues for students and faculty.
According to Langenkamp, the order for blue Scantrons just came in, and there should be no further issues.
Yeah, so they are here today. We actually have them here today. We had a little bit of a challenge getting them in, but we have them now and they're ready for purchase. We shouldn't have any further issues. So, and I over-ordered this time.
All right, thanks, Kelley. The campus bookstore is open between 7:30 in the morning and 6 o'clock in the evening, Monday through Thursday. Turning to politics now, student government elections are next Wednesday, but some students may not know what the function of the SGA is. Emma Ellis spoke with members of the SGA Executive Board to learn what students need to know in order to be informed voters.
Most students know that Troy University has a student government association, but do you know what its function actually is? The SGA is broken up into 3 separate parts. First, the freshman forum.
That is really our freshman-based SGA. We made it so that people can get, or freshmen can get involved, but also adapted to what SGA is.
The next part, the Senate.
The student body elects them as they run, so they have to run an entire campaign.
Any senator can bring an idea to the Senate, whether it be through a resolution or accommodation of someone here on campus, or they can even make amendments to our code of laws that we have, or the Constitution.
The Senate holds meetings weekly on Tuesdays. The final part of the SGA, the presidential cabinet.
We meet every other Thursday, but there's many different committees on there. As SGA exec, we are always willing to hear people's opinions, students' opinions, and concerns about the university. We actually love to have students in the office. If you just want to grab lunch with us or anything, we are in upstairs TC 215, so stop by anytime and there's going to be someone in here.
The SGA's motto is, as representatives of Troy University, we commit to excellence and leadership through service, enthusiasm, and Trojan pride. This is what current SGA leaders hope future leaders will embody. Still to come on the week that was, it was a busy week for the arts here on Troy University's campus. From dances to art receptions, we'll have what you need to know. Stay tuned.
You got me believing.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Welcome back. Students in a typography class on campus got the chance to create artwork for the Idea Bank. The goal, to reach more people than just their peers. Mackenzie Foster shows us how.
If you're ever in downtown Troy and happen to pass by the Idea Bank, you may notice some artwork. Those art pieces are from students in Professor Chris Stagel's typography class. The assignment was for students to create pieces of art that embodied the Idea Bank.
It was designed to kind of give an idea of what it means to be a creative, or what it means to work with the Idea Bank. So, you know, big ideas and trying to drive forward just a sense of creativity and entrepreneurship.
After each student produced 100 sketches for the assignment, students were able to see their final draft posted at the Idea Bank. Every student interpreted the assignment in their own way, which led to some unique designs.
It says create your own future. It is going to be on the interior wall of the Idea Bank, and it's pretty simple. It's just black lettering, and it has little like paintbrushes and stuff like that surrounding it, just to kind of like communicate the idea of creating your own future.
The one on the outside, it says think outside the box, and I played around with perspective on it, and like there's a actual box, and it's like the words are coming out with like a light bulb as well.
The students in Professor Stagel's class say they are grateful for the fun and unique opportunity.
It's just a great opportunity for us as design students. We have a small tight-knit group of us that now a lot of people get to see what we're doing.
It's insane, honestly. I'm very excited to be able to see my work up, and it's just a crazy experience, but an honor to be able to say that my work's up.
I've never really had that opportunity before, and you know, through classes and stuff, it's been really cool to see you know, stuff that I've made actually out in the world and not just on a screen or something.
It's crazy. It's a really cool experience because like I went over there the other day with a few friends, and like I took a picture of my mural up, and it was just kind of crazy seeing my work that I did on my small laptop blown up to that big of size.
The Idea Bank will have a showing of the murals on February 22nd.
And speaking of that showing, art lovers met face-to-face with those student artists. Mackenzie Foster was there for that reception. She has the story.
Troy University's Idea Bank held a showing for students whose artwork you may have seen while driving through downtown Troy. The showing of the students' murals gave them the chance to share their work with a larger audience. Professor Chris Stagel says he is proud of his students and the work they've produced.
It feels fantastic to give students the opportunity to create work like this. This started as a very rudimentary project in sketching and concepting, and we all weighed in on the murals that we liked the best. And the top 20 were chosen to be showcased. We did showcase 12 outside, and we ended up showcasing, I think, 6 or 7 on the inside. And those students are the ones that we're celebrating here tonight.
At the showing, there was a little competition as well. People were able to vote on the artwork that they liked the best. Emily Cousins and Laura Phelps were runner-ups, and Rihanna Thompson was the overall winner. All the ladies say this was something they weren't expecting.
I did not think that was going to happen at all. I just love all of my fellow students that we're all so talented, and like I think any of us could have won tonight, and I'm very honored that I could have, but I feel like if any of us did, I'd still be just as excited for them too.
It feels great. It makes me really excited, and I know that there are so many good works here, so I wasn't expecting to place at all even, so it's really exciting.
I was honestly really surprised because there's so many great artworks put up here, and I was very surprised when he called my name, but it was exciting too.
After seeing his students create such admired artwork, Professor Stagel has one piece of advice to aspiring art students.
I think the best advice that I give to my students is to really invest in process, really take the time to do the sketches, because that's where the good ideas come from.
The students' murals are still up at the Idea Bank for others to see.
Thompson's prize for winning is a $250 scholarship. Back on campus, students got a closer look at the man behind a new exhibit in the International Arts Center. Simon Schusler has more.
Thursday afternoon, IAC hosted a free panel discussion for students featuring the man responsible for the photographs on the wall, Jerry Siegel.
Most people who came are
from the South or they're living in the South. So I hear that a lot, that the work, that whether they're from Alabama or Georgia, Mississippi, they respond to the work because it feels like home to them. It reminds them of things that were important to them.
The panel consisted of Siegel himself and Richard McCabe, who is the photography curator at the Ogden Museum of Southern Art. And it was moderated by Paul Barrett, who curated the exhibition.
For us, it's important to engage with our community and to engage with our artists. And we bring them here for a reason. We show this art for a reason, and we use these opportunities to expand our knowledge about the artwork and to also help us create our own impressions with the art and to appreciate this wonderful opportunity that we have.
Siegel hopes that the audience will take his exhibition as a reminder to take every moment in and slow down from the grind of everyday life to appreciate the beauty in our surroundings.
I mean, I think that's the big thing is these are, not anything that anybody else couldn't do. I mean, it's just a matter of slowing down. We're all driving, we're looking at our phone, we're rushing somewhere. Slow down,
If you haven't made it to the IAC yet, don't worry. You still have plenty of time to check out Siegel's work as the exhibition is set to run through April 2nd. Simon Schusler, Troy, TrojanVision News.
This Saturday, Art Spark, a free monthly family event, will offer an art workshop for kids based on Siegel's exhibition. Children will be able to participate in story and snack time, an art scavenger hunt, and outdoor activities. Coming up on the week that was, Black History Month continues to inspire students and faculty across Troy's campus. We'll show you some of the latest events when we return.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we teach everyone to be leaders in their field. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change.
Thanks for staying tuned. This week, students flocked to the main quad for an African-American read-in. Students banded together in honor of Black History Month and to recognize all the Black writers they look up to.
The Sigma Tau Delta English Honor Society celebrated Black authors with their annual African American read-in. The read-in was significant because passages from Walking with the Wind by John Lewis were read in front of the building named after him. Being that the name Lewis is significant to Troy's campus, recognizing who he is through his work is important.
Oh, it's just overwhelming that we are able to do this. It is just something that I feel we have to do every year.
I know why the caged bird sings. Professors and students reflected on the words written by the boy from Troy, as well as references to him from other authors. Poetry and excerpts of stories from other Black authors were also recited.
So I read a poem called A Poet to His Baby Son by James Weldon Johnson, and it's essentially a poem about an African-American man who tells his son that if he is intelligent at an extremely young age, that he should choose another career path other than a poet. And he kind of talks about some of the issues of being a poet in that day and age.
Though a day in February is set aside to bring awareness and to celebrate African American authors, continuing to read their literature will broaden our perspective.
As someone who is an English major, I think that it's important for us to gain different views of the world from different people, because it helps you understand the universal human experience.
This was the first African American read-in to be held in this way. Organizers hope to do it again next year. In other news, Troy University has crowned its new Miss Phi Beta Sigma. Ceona Arnold was there and shows us the moment the crown passed from one queen to the next.
On Sunday, Phi Beta Sigma hosted its Miss PBS pageant. This year's theme was Princess and the Mob.
We was hosting our Miss PBS pageant, and we called it the Princess and the Mob. That was our theme. The winner goes and represents us at state, regional, and conclave.
During their introductions, participants shared a motto that represented who they are.
My motto was, if you cannot fly, then run. If you cannot run, then walk. If you cannot walk, then crawl. But by any means necessary, always keep moving forward.
Candidates showed off their talents, most choosing a skill they believe would best connect with their audience.
I used to be on the praise dance team at church. Better Days was actually the second song that I did by myself. Praise dancing is a way that I can communicate with other people.
One contestant says the experience was more than just a pageant, but an opportunity to gain confidence and make new friends.
I grew new buns, opened up more, brought out a new personality, so it was really fun.
Troy University's new Miss Phi Beta Sigma, Tierney Tunstall, urges others, especially young girls, to be brave and try new things.
Something I would teach younger girls is not to be afraid of branching out and trying something new. I did the pageant. It has brought out so much confidence in me. I've met new friends, so I would definitely recommend you to step out of your shell, be willing to try new things and overcome any fear you have.
Ceona Arnold, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The previous Miss Phi Beta Sigma was Brianna Jones, a TrojanVision alum. Recently, students showed off their talents during the annual Apollo Night, a talent show that raises money for a good cause. Camille Coney takes us there.
On Thursday night, the National Association of Black Journalists hosted an annual Apollo Night for students to showcase their talents. President Caitlin Blackman says the night is designed to be a way to give back to the local community.
We host this event annually. Every Black History Month, we try to do an Apollo Night. That's kind of the thing that we do during the Black History Month that we put on. So we just put on this, and we're raising money for the local Boys and Girls Club. So all of our proceeds, everything that we make, goes back to the Boys and Girls Club.
NABJ has some special performances in store for the audience as part of the show, including a modeling presentation and singing. One of the contestants said she discovered her talent during a family tragedy.
When I was 7 years old, my cousin actually passed away in a motorcycle accident, and I begged my mom to let me sing at the funeral. I didn't know if I could sing for her. I just wanted to do something, and then after that, it kind of just took off from there.
In addition to the performance, another contestant wanted to make sure that he let the people know to have confidence in everything they do.
For anyone that's watching this, continue to strive, be great, give God all the praise, and remember, go Trojans.
Camille Coney, Troy, TrojanVision News.
For upcoming events from the NABJ, follow the group on Instagram at Troy_NABJ. The 2023 Troy University Guitar Festival hosted musicians of all ages from around the nation recently. Kelley Wright tells us more about that event.
The familiar sound of classical guitar was heard on campus during the 2023 Troy University Guitar Festival. Young musicians came to campus to compete in the festival and listen to music from experienced guitar players. Though competing and listening to toe-tapping music was a huge part of the festival, education was the main objective.
It's also about the guitar education, since we have a large education component to this festival. So we bring in students from middle school age through high school and college, participating in master classes and in concerts.
The Guitar Festival is not only a learning experience for students of all ages, it is also a time for musicians to connect and talk about what they love.
I love sharing music. I think that's the most important thing. So whether that's just sharing music with myself or with other people in an intimate setting or in a larger concert venue. Yeah, it's good to hear people from all variety of places playing a variety of repertoire and sharing in those experiences.
Since its first festival in 2012, the Troy University Guitar Festival brings musicians from across the nation together.
That's what it's all about, bring people from all over. We have visitors from Oklahoma and from Texas and from Mississippi and Georgia and Florida and just all over.
Gibson hopes that students were able to take home a fun experience and new techniques to work on. Kelley Wright, Troy, TrojanVision News.
For more events by the School of Music, visit troy.edu and go from there. With the semester well underway and midterms right around the corner, students may be feeling a little stressed. Earlier this week, Troy University's Activities Council helped alleviate some of that stress by hosting a candle-making event. Emily Clegg takes us there.
On Wednesday evening, Troy University's UAC hosted its second ever candle making event.
We usually host kind of the same events, but we try to do something new for our students, and so we hosted this event, had a great turnout last time. A lot of people weren't able to come last time, so we wanted to make sure that we opened it up for more students to come this time.
The event had a wide selection of scents to choose from, provided by a Montgomery candle business, Kelley's Quality Candles.
Some of the selection that we have is some of the common scents that you see, the sequoia and English oak, which is the outside scent. Then we have the Easy Living, which is like a more relaxing type of scent. And then we have the Delicious that we brought with us. Now the Delicious is a signature scent that's strictly by us. And it was developed by our grandchildren who were 10 and 8 years old. And from there it became our #1 seller.
Kelley was the speaker at the event and taught participants the candle making steps.
Students that participated started off by pouring their wax into a pot and then placing it onto a burner, waiting for the wax to melt. Right now I'm mixing the wax to help it melt faster. The next step in the process is to add your scent. The scent I'm adding to my candle is called Delicious. The final step in the process is to pour the candle.
All that's left to do now is to wait for the wax to harden. Last year's event was a big hit, and the same goes for this year.
It was a lot of fun. The scents were amazing. I came out just so I could have something to do, get myself out of the dorm. It was a great learning experience, learning about how candles are made and making friends at my table.
Emily Clegg, Troy, TrojanVision News.
There are still plenty of events on the way for this semester. Follow UAC at Troy UAC on Instagram. We end our show with some Trojan baseball news. The Troy baseball team has opened up its 2023 campaign with 4 Starry wins as Alabama State came to town to face off against the Trojans. Parker Flowers has the story.
After sweeping the Purple Aces out of town, the Trojans looked to ride their hot wave into their next game as Alabama State came to town for a single-game face-off. Ben Thompson took the mound to start off the game and did not disappoint. Thompson only allowed 3 hits along with 1 run and tallied up 5 Ks. Unfortunately, though, the walk bug got to him in the 4th and he was relieved, but his performance was still good enough to get him his first career win.
It was an experience for sure. It wasn't pretty, but you know what? We got the job done, and I'm looking forward for the next one.
The Trojans have started off the season hot as they've yet to be defeated and have outscored their opponents 41-26 in their first 4 games. Although there have been a few hiccups on the defensive side of the ball, the offense seems almost major league ready, and head coach Skylar Meade couldn't be more pleased with his team's red-hot start.
We don't deem it pressure, but a little bit more at stake per se. That would be one thing, but we've had to do that against good teams. Alabama State was an NCAA tournament team last year. Evansville, we know, is a really good program with a bunch of older players. So I really couldn't ask for better script so far, but we got a lot of work to do, and we got to get back at it on Friday.
And as the game was nearing its end, a UFO was spotted flying over Troy. Many residents were worried at first, but it turned out to be nothing but a false alarm, as it was just William Sullivan's way of letting people know that you don't leave a breaking ball hanging when pitching to him. The Trojans improved to 4-0 on the season as they look to ride their streak into this weekend as they take on Stony Brook in a 3-game series from Friday to Sunday. First pitch Friday is set for 2 p.m. Parker Flowers, Troy TrojanVision News.
And just like Parker said, the Trojans continue the homestand this weekend and welcome Stony Brook to Riddle Pace Field for a 3-game series beginning Friday afternoon. First pitch is 2 o'clock. And that's the week that was. To find out what's happening on a daily basis, tune in to Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30 Monday through Friday. You can also visit us anytime on the Troy Trojan Vision news blog at today.troy.edu/TrojanVision. There you'll see online content from all of us here at Troy Trojan Vision News. Until next time, we hope you have a wonderful week.